Okay, another Pokemon that is not going to use Surf in its final run. I figured this was on theme with Starmie earlier in the week, so that's why we're going to do Lapras today. This is a Pokemon that I have really struggled to get a good time, or what I think is a good time with. So if we look at the tier list currently, it is ranked in the D tier with 53 minute time and 39 seconds. I've done many playthroughs with it, I can't remember how many. If you want to check it out, I've left 4 videos in the description, all the different Lapras playthroughs I've done on the channel so far. Right now it's behind Pokemon like Pidgeot, Weezing, Marowak. Lapras should be ahead of these Pokemon, but I just wasn't able to get the luck I needed previously for it. Largely because the champion, again, the Magneton, but this time not just the Magneton, also the Flareon with Flamethrower. So we might investigate fighting Rival 1A, but I don't think that that's actually going to be the answer, because I think there's another answer. So let's talk about what it's going to be. For a long time, maybe 2 or 3 years now, I have been thinking about the idea of crowdsourcing the creation of routes to figure out what is the best route for each Pokemon. So for example, I started thinking about this when I was making Kangaskhan versus Tauros. That's how long I've been thinking about this concept. And I was like, we're going to do so much better at figuring out what the best thing is if there's like 100 people working on these runs and then like figuring out the strategies and finding small ways to improve them, that sort of thing. Interestingly enough, this strategy that I'm going to be playing here with Lapras is a community submission. And Zealous Pawn, I believe, is in the chat. So Zealous Pawn, thank you for sending me an email with a root file and a screenshot of Lapras. This is what inspired this run and this stream. Also, it's a great strategy, and I think the your inner child, if you have an inner child, I do. I'm still basically a giant child because I'm just playing Pokemon like I did when I was a kid, but if you have an inner child and you had a Lapras when you were a kid that had like the moveset Water Gun, Bubble Beam, Surf, and Hydro Pump, I think this movie, or this, not movie, this video is going to make you really happy, and especially this route. So we'll talk about why as we get further into it. For now, just know the Surf Strike is continuing. Another water type will not be using Surf. My previous strategies with Lapras, which ended up with the 53 minute time and 39 seconds, all incorporated Surf. Turns out that was my mistake. So today we're going to investigate why, or what is an alternative to running Surf on Lapras. I also do want to say, there's some boring stuff here at the beginning of the game. There's not much going on, but like my first Lapras playthrough on the channel, it was so long ago. I got like a 2 hour and 30 minute time with it. It was my fiance, or my girlfriend and I at the time, had just moved, and I remember recording the audio for Lapras in the closet to try and get good audio quality. Okay, this guy, junior trainer, first optional trainer of the run. The reason I am fighting him is just for experience. He's kind of in the way. You might as well just fight him if you want experience throughout the early game, but just like Starmie, you don't technically need to fight him to be able to beat Brock, because Water Gun is just going to one-shot both the Geodude as well as the Onix. Also, we have new tech today on the overlay, so look at this. Down in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little label. I'm going to put it up and take it away occasionally, but it says, this is a replay with live commentary, because that's what's happening right now. People get confused and think, hey, are you actually playing? They ask this question all the time in chat, so I'm trying to put this here so that hopefully it will be a little bit clearer. I recorded this run, I guess it was on Monday after the Starmie stream. My voice was basically completely dead after I did the stream. And then I was like, I want to keep playing though, so I decided to play Lapras, inspired by the fact that the strategy Zealous Pawn had shown did not use Surf, and I was like, okay, well, let's try it out. So remember, the time that I'm trying to beat with this run currently is 53 minutes and 39 seconds. That's the goal for Lapras. If we beat that, we get a new PB in the replay run. And then later on stream, I am once again going to try to beat whatever my best time is. And we're probably going to play like, I would say like 2 or 3 playthroughs with Lapras today. Maybe not 3, that's probably a lot of time, but I would hope to play like at least 2 with Lapras today after this. There's not going to be a lot of extra time spent routing in the optimizing software, because the answers are really obvious now that I've played this Pokemon so much, and Zealous Pond has contributed a bunch of things to it. We're starting to get to that point where you just have to sit down and grind out runs until you get the one that's perfect. But it is live though, it is, I know. It's the confusing thing about it. I just find that I can't give particularly like good commentary when I'm talking while playing. It's like my focus is divided. So here, the Super Nerd, note how many turns it took to knock his Pokemon out. It is a maximum possible turns there of 7. For some Pokemon it's less, and then he's good experience, but when it takes that long to knock out his Pokemon, it's sometimes better to investigate other options or training, and we will do that after this playthrough. I sent my results from this run back to Zealous Pond, and then he sent me another root file being like, hey, we can actually make it better. So there's been a little bit of back and forth in optimization since even the run that I'm doing right here. This hiker makes sense to fight with water types. Generally with water types, the goal is to get a high enough level to beat Misty at a decent level once arriving in Cerulean City, because then you get Bubble Beam and it speeds up the whole section of the game throughout Nugget Bridge, which, as Gym Leader Matt likes to say, has the highest density of mandatory trainers in the entire game. Also, I want to draw your attention to this Grimer. It has 2 moves, Pound and Disable. He's going to randomize between them because they're both normal, and if he uses Disable, it randomly selects one of your moves and stops you from using it. Also, Disable can last for like, I don't know, it's like 6 to 8 turns or something sometimes. I don't know the exact number. It's just really long. Look at this. Wasted so much time there just by disabling my water gun. This is only a problem for Pokemon that have 2 moves, with their second move being a status move. So if you have like Tackle and Screech or something, it'll be a problem as well. If you have 3 moves, 2 damage dealing moves, then usually you can attack. And if you only have 1 damage dealing move and it gets disabled, then you just use Struggle, so you still attack. We don't actually need the elixir to make it through Mount Moon. The ether, yeah. Huh. It's a good idea to teach Bide before this fight to play around Disable. That's smart, yeah. I should do that. I was wondering why you taught Bide early on. Initially, I started teaching it early on based on... Oh, what's his channel's name? Oh, I forget. Oh, I'm so sorry. Someone in the community mentioned to me that like you can teach Bide to bypass accuracy checks in case you get hit by like a accuracy dropping move, like by a Pidgey or something. So like, well, I'll just teach it before I face Misty, that kind of thing. But then I stopped doing that for a while, so I'm going to teach Bide here. I have leveled up to 16, so I have Sing. Misty is a little bit weird, and Zealous Pond, I'm curious if you want to give me some insight into your strategy against Misty, but I don't find that Lapras is particularly consistent against her. Sing, of course, has 55% accuracy. Bide can work, but it can also not work, because she can choose to go for Harden or X-Defend instead of attacking, and if that happens, then you're just wasting time. Also, due to your speed, you're going to move second against Misty's Pokemon. So sometimes you just, like, she attacks, then you use Bide, then she uses Harden twice, then you unleash no energy. She attacks, you use Bide, she uses Harden twice, and you're like, well, this feels unfair. Also, apparently the Staryu can do a lot of damage to me, so Biding on the Staryu now put me in a bad position for the Starmie. I believe I get off, yeah, 1 Bide here, but then it's like, well, I have to do something else, so I can Sing the Starmie, put it to sleep, and hopefully just barely squeeze through. The Growl there was, it's a bad play. I did do it intentionally, but it is bad. And I lose, of course. The thing is, even losing here is okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. I was gonna continue playing this run because I need to practice the strategy. It's not so much about being optimal. I think for my follow-up attempts, I may just scrap the run if I lose to Misty and not save before her, because you get to her so quickly, like it's under 10 minutes. And I also like, it always feels bad when you lose to like Misty twice and then Surge once, and then you're like, well, like, I could have just beaten them both with no resets. That's fairly likely. And now I'm going forward with this messy run with all this bloat from just resets that happened early on. Better off using Bide against Goldeen. I don't think so, because if you get hit by Supersonic and you hit yourself, it cancels Bide, and then you do no damage. So I think Goldeen is better to Sing and then just Water Gun down, but I think it's better to Bide against Misty. It might be better to Sing the Staryu and then Water Gun it down, just to save HP for the Starmie, and then you can use Bide against it. But I think I'm going to pull it off this time. Yep, crit on Water Gun. 11.72% chance to crit with Lapras, and as people have mentioned in the chat, it is slow growth rate. The worst growth rate in Generation 1. Hummus is yummus. I'll love that. Love that username, by the way. Thanks for blessing my afternoon shift, Scott. You are welcome. Hopefully we can make things a little bit more exciting. Scott's thoughts on the Starmie stream. You did Rival 2 and then went back to Misty. What's the best strat? I think doing Rival 2 with Starmie is the best, because Starmie has no other way to defeat Misty really consistently. We might be able to do that here with Lapras, like defeat the rival because we have Water Gun, and then speed through the first portion, come back, fight Misty at a slightly higher level. Things are not exactly the same though, because Starmie has Harden, so it can set up Badge Boost and then destroy Misty at a lower level with normal type moves. The only reason that Lapras would get an advantage from that strategy of fighting the rival first and then backtracking is if we think that the additional health would help. So we can look here at the end of the route, but I don't think we're going to get enough speed to move first against the Staryu, which won't help. And we'll try it in the router and see. Someone remind me when we get there. You can PB with a reset to Misty. Well, it depends on how good your PB is, right? If your personal best, like at some point there will come a time when I cannot PB anymore with a reset to Misty. And eventually in yellow version, we're going to be there. We're going to have all 151 Pokemon done, and I'm just going to be like, today I play Mewtwo 8 times to see if I can get 15 seconds off its top time. Okay. So we get through here level 20, but that's with the Misty experience, and we only have 37 speed, so not enough to move first against the Staryu. It has 38 speed, so we tie if we get one more. Jared, yeah, I would highly encourage you to try your own solo runs. Solo runs are really fun. They're especially good if you play them on multiples of game speed, because like what I love about this format is that I don't have to sit down and be like, okay, for the next 4 days, I'm going to do a playthrough. It's like, nope, for the next like hour, I'm going to sit down, have some fun, play a run, see how it goes, and I can like try another one if I have extra time or just go and do something else. Like it's really nice bite-sized format. Kind of feels like playing a game of chess or something like that. It's not really long, but yeah. So an Ice-type move would be nice here. Starmie has to struggle through the Wrapping Lass, as I have mentioned in the previous stream. But Lapras is not going to have to, because Lapras has actually better coverage than Starmie, and Starmie has amazing coverage. So Lapras, if we go through its move pool, it gets Body Slam. It's going to get both the Water-type moves, but Water Gun's relevant because we start with that. Bubble Beam is helping now because we beat Misty. Then, once we clear the Rock Tunnel, we will get Ice Beam. We'll get Blizzard once we arrive in Cinnabar Island. We also get Dragon Rage and Solar Beam, kind of weird moves to have, but cool. And then we'll also Thunderbolt, Thunder, Psychic, and of course Surf, but we're not using Surf today. As I've said before, the Surf Strike is continuing. So I think Lapras, like, if you're doing this as like a casual playthrough and you're not timing yourself, I actually think that Lapras will, in general, feel better to play than Starmie. Same type attack bonus on ice moves is really great. Ice moves are exceptional offensively in Generation 1. Also, the fact that you get Body Slam to solve grass types in the Rock Tunnel portion of the game makes the quality of life of this playthrough much higher. That's a metric that I haven't really spent much time talking about that. I missed Psywave. Thank you, Caitlin. Yeah, the most important move, Psywave. Actually, there is a funny case where Psywave is actually really important. I played a run last night with a backport, and Psywave becomes quite interesting. Anyways, we'll talk about that one in October. But yeah, quality of life is something I don't really talk about a lot in playthroughs. So, for example, like quality of life with fire types is like extremely low. You play fire types and the whole time you're suffering. Although they can get pretty good times if you optimize them really well. Note there, I did skip rest. Yes, I am skipping rest. But I am going to get body slam. So 1 optional trainer here on the SSN until the gentleman, then it'll be 2, and then the rival. So quality of life is low, I think, for fire types. They tend to struggle against like when they struggle, they really struggle. And then they're quite fast in all other sections of the game. Quality of life gets like really low when you're playing like a slow poison type or a rock ground type. Because some trainers like Misty, it's like, okay, I have to grind to level 35 to beat her and outspeed the Staryu or something like that. That's like Rhyhorn. It's really painful. But with the Pokemon like Lapras, I think quality of life is actually extremely high. If you really want, you can use Sing to just bypass threats early on. It has really good coverage and decent stats. Starmie's quality of life feels a little bit lower, but that said, I think that the peak potential for Starmie is much higher than the peak potential for Lapras. Reason being, Lapras does struggle in the late game, and it just has in general less raw damage output. It gets less crits, all of these things. So while it does have some advantages, I do think that in the end, Starmie will come out ahead of Lapras in the rankings. Hey Scott, do you think if Staryu started with Water Gun, it'd be A tier? I don't think A tier, but it would be a decent... It could be a decent first stage Pokemon. It would be one of the higher ranked water type starters, or water type first stage Pokemon. Okay, Surge. This battle, let's go through damage ranges. So Body Slam has a guaranteed 3 hit and a 1.6% chance to 2 hit. Okay, so it's basically not going to 2 hit, you're going to have to 3 hit. I can Paralyze, and as you saw there, if he chooses Thunderbolt a bunch, I'm going to lose. Thunderbolt does 67 to 78% damage per hit. So I'll survive 1 unless it crits like that. Well done, Surge. Frustrating. But I'm just hoping that it like growls me like a bunch, or maybe... I'm like, okay, maybe I should just put it to sleep. It's like, you can chance the sleep on Sing and then have a really easy fight like I just had there, or you can just spam Body Slam and it can like Mega Punch you twice, or like he'll X speed and Mega Punch twice and like do nothing. So yeah, he's literally random. With water types, he can give you resets. With flying types, he can give you resets. Pretty much everything else just stomps him, and even if you do lose, it's just random. He feels very similar to Chuck in Generation 2. Chuck in Generation 2 can always beat you, because he can just, like, no-scope a Hypnosis and a Dynamic Punch. Or, like, you equip a Mint Berry, then he no-scopes a Dynamic Punch and confuses you, and you hit yourself, like, 4 times. Or you equip a Bitter Berry, and then he just, like, no-scopes a Hypnosis. You're like, come on! So, Chuck can always give you resets, but, like, what Pokemon would Chuck wall completely? I'm gonna let you think about that for a couple days. Okay, so wrapping last, I get poisoned here. I don't have a guaranteed 1 hit on the Oddish with Body Slam. I can reset if I get paralyzed, but just the fact that I got poisoned means that I can't get paralyzed, so then the fight's really simple. If you saw with Starmie has to rely on Bubble Beam for that fight with Thunder Wave and Rest. Lapras could just use Body Slam, so everything is faster. Again, quality of life higher. Sorry for the flashing on the screen. Look away. I'm going to heal so that we don't have to bear through all of the poison. I'm surprised you didn't keep Sing. I could use Sing, but like, it's a pretty low chance that it's going to either absorb Poison Powder, Stun Spore. I think it has 3 moves, the Oddish. So it's like decently low that it's already just not going to do the Stun Spore. And if it does, it's such a quick reset. I don't think keeping Water Gun has particularly any utility, but I also don't think it really matters. Yeah, this next section of the game now starts to become trivial for Lapras. This fight is annoying. I get paralyzed here. It does get a little bit scary with Bulbasaur using Vine Whips. I was very certain that I was going to reset there, but then she growls. So, well, we're fine. I should probably save in front of her if I want to play really safely, but yeah, it's not entirely, it's like not really that important. It's so rare that she's going to get you. Scott could use sing, but he's not a vocalist, rather a guitarist. Yeah, exactly. I can't use sing because I almost failed musicianship class. That was the hardest class in university for me, like doing sight singing and stuff. Oh my gosh. Terrifying class. And now you're here for your like 4th year sight singing test. The sight singing example is Anton Webern. Sing me this 12-tone row. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is very hard. If you don't know what Anton Webern's music sounds like, I suggest you look it up and then imagine not hearing it and then having to sing it to someone. University music's really fun. There's actually, I actually really like Anton Webern's music. I'm a weirdo. Anyways. There's something really beautiful about organizing pitch in the way that the second Viennese school did. Big tangent. Let's get back to Pokemon. Okay, now that we have arrived in Celadon City, everything is going to get easier. We have Bubble Beam and Thunderbolt right now, but we are going to start expanding our moveset to add Psychic and Ice Beam very soon. This is where things get weird. We have 4 slots, but we have 5 good moves. Psychic, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Body Slam, and then Surf. Yeah. So we have to choose which move do we not want to have. We can drop Body Slam, we could drop Thunderbolt, Psychic, we could drop any of them, right? Some people say maybe drop Ice Beam, but like Ice Beam is better with Lapras. Like we talked about dropping Ice Beam with Starmie, but Ice Beam is definitely better with Lapras because it gets the same type attack bonus. So maybe we don't want to drop Ice Beam. Psychic is really good at coverage for all the poison types throughout the mid game, like Koga's team, for example. So we probably don't want to drop it. Plus, having it, holding on to it for the Hiker and then Agatha later on makes that section of the game much easier. Thunderbolt, don't want to drop that before Lorelei. By the way, with water types, if you don't have Thunderbolt, Lorelei becomes extremely painful because you have to 3-shot the Dugong, otherwise it will like use Rest against you over and over again, and you're just gonna get stuck and like have like a battle that's like 40 seconds long just to get to the Cloister. You don't want to lose after that. Okay, 2 Carbos here. Zealous Pawn, tell us why these are important. I don't remember. But just 2 Carbos, and then we're going to Ice Beam in the place of Water Gun. And then I'm going to go and grab Psychic and put it in the place of Bubble Beam so that we no longer have a Water type move. If this seems wrong to you, don't worry. We are going to get a Water type move, and it's not going to be Surf. Again, I think our inner children are going to be really happy. Okay, so Psychic is also really helpful in Pokemon Tower to knock out the Chandler's Pokemon in a single hit, so that you don't have to deal with the annoyance that is Ghastly using Lick to paralyze you, and then Nightshade to deal consistent damage, and potentially even Confuse Ray to mess you up even more. Small note there, don't Thunderbolt the Fearow, because it likes to use Mirror Move, so if you Thunderbolt it and it Mirror Moves it back at you, really bad. If it Mirror Moves Ice Beam back at you, it cannot freeze Lapras, because Ice-type moves can't freeze Ice-type Pokemon. So, yeah. Psychic's helpful here. Ice Beam, the Fearow, everything else, super simple. In some cases, you don't want to Ice Beam the Fearow because you would rather be paralyzed, even though that's bad. You'd rather be paralyzed than frozen, because being frozen, you have to reset. Okay. Heal. Pokemon Tower, pretty simple. Our speed is fast enough to move first against all the Ghastly. The slower Ghastly have 45 speed, the faster Ghastly like this one have 47. Yeah, 300 bonks. I'm doing okay. I've noticed that this year I've been playing a lot more. So last year I spent Okay, well, let's like break things down because this next section of the game is very simple. Breaking things down from 2022 to 2023 to 2024, the evolution of what I do behind the scenes has dramatically changed. So throughout 2022 and 2023, I was struggling with tons of voice problems, so I couldn't stream. My voice is a bit better now, but it's still not perfect. Like, it was not doing well during the Starmie stream. It's feeling much better today, though. And I recorded voiceover this morning even, which is amazing. I can do a stream and voiceover on the same day. I feel free. So in 2022, I was focusing tons of my effort on building software so that the runs can look really good all the time. It's all automated, and then we can stream with it. So much of my time was going into that. Like, it was at least 40 hours a week were going into that. And then I was like playing the game and doing the voiceover and editing the videos and stuff with Sean on the side. Because he's doing the majority of the editing, but I have to do a review and like additional edits and stuff like that. In 2023, things changed a little bit. I was doing still a lot of software stuff, but playing the games a little bit more. Like, it felt like the first year that I was really playing Generation 3 in earnest. Although this year, the amount that Erica's irrelevant with Ice Beam. Should have mentioned that. Although this year it feels like things have fundamentally changed. Like, I am spending much more of my day playing. Like, every day I play at least one Pokemon game all the way through once. It's a very rare day when I don't play a full game. So I've noticed that my skills as a player have been developing very rapidly this year, which just wasn't the case prior to this. Okay, one small thing that I do want to note here, when in Sylph, we've come to Sylph before doing the Safari Zone. This is a really small thing, but it's because we know we can get enough experience here before the rival that we don't need the additional experience training on Cycling Road. I want to experiment with reordering this section of the game to do it the way I normally do. I think we might actually save a tiny bit of time doing it like that, or displace a rare candy to later in the run and then finish one level higher. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Anyways, back in 2020, summer of 2021, I remember thinking to myself, because I could only play the game once every week. I literally spent all the other time on my full-time job and on editing the video. So playing the game like twice in 1 week was really challenging for a versus video. It was like there was no time to do it. I had to work 7 days a week just to get the one video done. And those videos were like 20 minutes long. I remember saying back then, oh, I just wish there was a way that I could play the game more. How could I do like more playing of the game and less editing? So we've achieved that. Yeah, movement looking sharp recently. I agree. It's a little bit hard switching between the games, especially Gen 1 and Gen 2. The movement, it feels very different. The Gen 2 character moves like a little bit quicker. It's like slightly snappier in some ways, which is harder on 4 times speed. So I find switching between these two games challenging. Okay, so here, we're going to level up. Gotta knock this guy out. Level up to 34. Card key. And then we're gonna go. I think we fight. Yeah, 2 more trainers. So we're gonna fight the Hypno Sandwich, who has amazing art. Thank you, Serena. Link in the description if you want to commission something. Hypno Sandwich. This is definitely the best art on the channel. Look at it. So good. Hypno's got a little ketchup bottle and a little piece of ham. Yeah, it's so good. Oh, we're not gonna go to the healing room. Just fight this guy. He gives enough experience to get to 35. People are commenting on the back sprite. Lapras' back sprite is quite dreadful. Definitely not one of the better ones. 5 rare candies up from level 35 to level 40. Level 40 is the level I think that is best to take on the rival at. It feels most comfortable in terms of damage ranges. Okay, Ice Beam one-shots Sand Slash, and Thunderbolt one-shots the Cloyster. Magneton does not have Thunder Wave, so it's not yet a threat. Thunder Wave is only scary because then you're slower and everything else hits you. But in this case, it doesn't matter. We can tank a hit from the Kadabra and then slowly knock out the Flareon. By the way, fire types do not resist ice type moves in Generation 1. That was changed starting in Generation 2, so using Ice Beam against the Flareon is fine. Yeah, the wrapping last heart is really good. That's true. Okay. Giovanni. This is one of the least relevant battles in solo playthroughs. I don't really think there have been... I don't remember many times where I've had to think much about this fight. I do remember thinking a little bit about it with Porygon, but Porygon is not very good. I only did like 28 playthroughs with it or whatever it was. It was a lot. Okay. With Sylph finished, we're now going to head south towards Fuchsia City. Nice payday bonus, yeah. There was a time when we didn't have payday coded into the routing software, and every time I would get paydayed, I would like, it would say I wouldn't have enough money to buy something. I'm like, I definitely did. Like, I don't get what's going on. It was payday. This biker, so this is one of the changes that Zealous Pawn has made to the route, to not fight this biker, instead to fight the other two more efficient bikers, and to also add Psych into the later stages of the run. Slightly more efficient. Oh, watch this, watch this. Yeah! By the way, that is not a desync. I actually did get stuck there for that long. I think what happened is I looked at a different monitor, and then I looked back, and then I was like, oh no, I'm stuck, and then it took me a little while to get out of it. Oops. So if the Pokemon has access to Ice Beam, Blizzard, do you think water moves are pretty much unnecessary? No. So I think what I'm learning here is that teaching Surf is fundamentally very risky, or I've known that for a while. I've said it in my videos, and then people are like, I always get like the comment that's like, why would teaching a water type Surf ever be a bad idea? Like, this is like the comment, the way I feel when I read the comment is like, wow, Scott, you're so dumb. Why would teaching a water type Surf ever be a bad choice? It's like, it is a bad choice in these scenarios. So like with Lapras, we don't have enough damage with Surf in the late game for it to be useful. And it's not helpful against any of the Elite Four members, because Psychic manages both Bruno and Agatha. His Onyxes are irrelevant, of course. And Ice Beam manages Lance, Thunderbolt manages Lorelei, and then we get to the champion, and Surf just isn't really that useful. Ice Beam can cover the Sand Slash, and from there, we don't really have better damage with Surf. We're going to talk about it, because you're probably like, Flareon. No, we need to talk about Flareon. It's a unique scenario. So, what I've been learning is that when you're running a first stage Pokemon, it tends to just feel more consistent and safer to teach Surf, because you need to do a lot of battles in the mid game to level up. Because you can't get through like Lorelei or something, because your damage ranges just aren't good enough as a first stage Pokemon. So I'm finding like Surf is better on weak, bad Pokemon, but then on good Pokemon, they want to avoid Surf, because they can usually find another way to squeeze through with a win, like Starmie with badge boosts against the champion. It's like, you don't really need Surf to solve any problems. You can use Bubble Beam for Blaine, and then you just kind of get through the rest of the game without any problems. And with like making everything like on a razor's edge, you just know the damage ranges, you've got them, it's fine. With Lapras, it's very similar. Just need to have good damage ranges for key opponents, and once you do that, then you should be fine. I do think that Surf becomes much better in Generation 2. You get it earlier on, and you can use a move deleter. Once the move deleter is introduced, Surf then becomes good in solo challenges, because you can actually get rid of it. The whole problem with Surf in Generation 1 is that once you teach it, you can never unlearn it. So even if you wanted to use it for the mid game, you're just stuck using it for the rest of the playthrough if you teach it. And then you basically only have 3 move slots to work with, and if you need 4 different moves to beat the champion, then teaching Surf is like a bad idea for the entire run. And usually in yellow version, the champion is typically the hardest trainer in the entire playthrough. So he adds Psych there. We'll do that in the follow-up run, but not this time. If there was a move deleter in Generation 1, Surf would be more useful. Like, why not just teach it for Blaine and then unlearn it? Like, that's fine. There's no... Okay. I skipped Blizzard. Please Please take note of that. Please. That is a mistake. Okay. Dig out. Then we're going to go fight Sabrina. Pick up Mimic. Oh, I'm forgetting. I'm like looping around. I'm like, no, I don't need Mimic. Then I'm like, no, I do need Mimic. Then I go back in and get it. I wish I had remembered Blizzard that way. So people keep telling me that there's a way to delete HM moves, which is the daycare, but then someone also commented recently that that doesn't actually work. So I don't know. They said I used to think this was true, but then like I tested it or something and they were like, it doesn't work. So I don't actually know, and I'm not going to come down on that one way or the other. Okay, Hydro Pump, level 46. We are going to teach Hydro Pump in the place of Body Slam. Okay. As a kid, I thought Hydro Pump and Blizzard and Thunder were the best moves in the game. I don't know if anyone else thought that. They were like, these moves just do so much damage, they're better than everything else. Of course those are the moves I'm going to learn. It took me quite a while to realize, but they miss all the time. This was really annoying. So we are going to be using Hydro Pump, and the first place it's going to be useful for Lapras is here against Blaine. Blaine is one of the hardest gym leaders in Yellow version. If not the most difficult gym leader. I would say out of all the Pokemon that I've run so far, the largest percentage have had problems against Blaine. Whereas like the least have had problems against, let's say, Erica. But just because you can leave her until later into the game. Okay. So he's got fire moves that can hit pretty hard. We need Hydro Pump so that we have good damage ranges. It's an 80% chance to one-shot all of his Pokemon. I get very unlucky in this fight. I lose half my health on the Ninetales. Then miss a bunch, and I'm going to run out of Hydro Pumps for the Arcanine. Psychic is pretty good for this fight. Also Ice Beam because you can freeze. Psychic can drop special, but I do have a reset. Yeah, Surge is not a gym leader. I actually think though, but like Surge is higher than Erica because he's like he's not consistent. Like Lapras is going to have resets against Surge. Starmie is going to have resets against Surge. So he's like, Erica is more consistent than Surge. But overall Surge is like more hilarious because no matter, even if you're like a Zubat, you can get through him. And that's funny. Whereas like, if you're like, I don't know, like an Ammonite against Erica, you're going to lose. Like, because she's going to spam Razor Leaf and stuff if you're not planned for it. Why not Surf? Watch the entire Starmie video and then watch this entire video and I will explain why. We're going to talk about why not Surf at the end of this run. We have to get to the point in the game where it's relevant. Number one, like Surf would be useful against Blaine, but teaching Surf would be short-sighted. We would teach Surf and then we would say, hey, yeah. This is, like, we teach Surf, we say, hey, it's fine for Blaine. It seems fine here also for Giovanni. By the way, Ice Beam, guaranteed one hit on all of his Pokemon except the Persian. So we don't need Surf to make Giovanni easier. We can just Ice Beam our way through this because we have the same type of attack bonus. Now, I say that teaching Surf would be short-sighted because we have to think about damage ranges in the late game. If Surf is going to be stuck on our set, then does it have enough damage to be useful when we absolutely need it? And the answer with Lapras is no, it does not do enough damage. So we need moves that do enough damage. Lapras does not have a badge boosting move like Starmie. That's the main difference between playing these two. They're both going to run like Psychic Ice Beam and Thunderbolt at some time during the run, and they're both not going to run Surf. So, but then the differentiation between them is that Starmie's fourth move slot is filled up with Harden for badge boosts, whereas Lapras has more flexibility and is able to run Body Slam into Hydro Pump in the late game. Submission has base 80 power, and yeah, it's bad. It's still bad. We lose here, I think. Yeah. Annoying. That's what happens when you get paralyzed. Paralysis is the worst status condition in a solo run. Everything falls apart, especially in Gen 1, because if you heal with Rest, it does not replenish your speed. But like, look at how easy this is until the Magneton. By the way, the Magneton can just go for Thundershock and then you win. So it's a 50-50 chance there on the Magneton. Which is why this fight, like, it's annoying, but you're going to get to the Magneton every single time. There's nothing to do before that. Then you just hope you don't get paralyzed. If you get paralyzed, you can still win, but you can also lose. Yeah. So with Lapras, because we don't have access to a badge boosting move, we instead have to find a way to get the damage ranges we need. Now, of course, you can just... Would Blizzard one-shot Magneton? No, it wouldn't. No. Not in this case. Blizzard will do the same amount of damage that Hydro Pump would to that Magneton, and the Hydro Pump is doing 73 to 86% damage to that Magneton. So, the reason... that's basically the reason, like... Surf, like, it wouldn't have helped during that fight. We still would just 2-hit the Magneton, and it's going to be equivalent to Ice Beam. Basically, with Lapras' type, Surf is the same power as Ice Beam. They both have 85 base power. So if they have 142.5 effective power, then Surf is going to be doing the same damage to key targets like Magneton. So you don't gain any advantages, and Ice Beam is fine against, like, Bruno's Onyx. It's terrible anyways. We don't need to cover for it. So... Ice Beam has more utility because of its typing. Surf has less, especially during the League, where damage ranges really start to matter, because that's where Lapras' slow growth rate starts to hold it back in levels. As you can see, we are approaching the League and we are only level 53. Up to this point, I have used 10 rare candies. There is only one more that I have, so I can't accelerate my level very much past this. And Body Slam late game is not useful. So teaching Hydro Pump in the place of Body Slam is the best choice. I learned fairly early on doing these solo challenges that normal type moves become useless once you defeat Giovanni, or even just before that because he has rock types. You kind of, like, Body Slam is great from the SSN up until Giovanni, then you kind of want to get rid of it for something like Mimic. Mimic is much more flexible. You can do it like Steel Earthquake, Steel Amnesia, Steel Dig on Bruno if you really want something for the Onyx or you don't have anything else. Steel Substitute for Agatha, or Lick if you're Victory Bell and have Swords Dance. Steel Ice Beam from Lance if you can't learn it naturally. And then on the champion, potentially Steel Earthquake, Recover, sometimes Hypnosis to cover Magneton because you don't have the damage range you need with a water type. So that might be the case here. Okay, for Lorelei, Mimic in the place of Ice Beam. Ice moves, useless against Lorelei. Now, hopefully you can see why Blizzard was a mistake. Okay. Thunderbolt. The Dugong will go down in 2 hits. The Cloister is a 47.9% chance to 1 hit. Slowbro is a guaranteed 2 hit. It uses Amnesia, so it'll do less damage. I'm going to steal Amnesia here and set up with it. I want to improve my damage ranges against both the Jinx and the Lapras so that I don't get messed up. I just don't want, like, Lovely Kiss or something to, like, ruin my day. And they don't. Easy. Lorelei's very simple. We need Hydro Pump for the champion fight. That's why I have it here. And we don't need Surf. So yeah, Psychic sweeps all of Bruno's Pokemon. The Machamp is a 2-hit. But what's it going to do? Maybe Submission. Submission has a chance to knock us out if it crits. But he uses Karate Chop. Okay. Also, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate everyone who watches. You let me do this professionally, thinking about Pokemon solo runs every day. And by me having access to doing that means that we can develop all these custom software tools to make the end result that you see at home as high quality as possible and as rigorous and information rich as possible. Because there's one thing saying like, oh, I knocked the Pokemon out. And there's another thing in saying like, that Gengar is a guaranteed 2-hit, and I only have a 1.2% chance to knock it out in 1 turn. So I would need to get a critical hit with maximum damage roll. Okay, mimicking Substitute here on Agatha tends to be the safest play. I wanted to avoid it because it takes a little bit more time. You have to spend time, and then she can break it with the Gengar using Mega Drain. Also, I get paralyzed by Lick, so I just reset because it's so sloppy. I don't want to play out a fight like that and then lose after like 2 minutes of annoying back and forth. Much better to just reset quickly and not have time accumulate. Remember, the time we're trying to beat is 53 minutes and 39 seconds. After like 7 or 9 or something Lapras playthroughs, that's the best I was able to do before Zealous Pawn came along with this route. So this is the power of Hydro Pump. What we're really seeing is the power of Hydro Pump here. We are 10 minutes ahead. Well, like not really, but like right now we are just under 10 minutes ahead of the previous time. So even if I have a disastrous Lance and Champion, I still potentially could clock in with a faster time. There's only 2 trainers left. But I don't have Blizzard for Lance. This is when I realized that I'd made the mistake. I was like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to have Blizzard. I'm like, oh, I don't have it. The final set for Lapras against the Champion is hilarious. It has both Blizzard and Hydro Pump on it. I love this set. It's so funny. It seems like it would be so bad because of accuracy. But remember, Hydro Pump has 80% accuracy, not 70. So it's okay. Especially when it does as much damage as it does. That's why Submission's bad. Recoil and low base power. But by mimicking Ice Beam, I can defeat Lance without problems. A little bit of luck required there on the first Dragonair. If it Thunder Waved me, things would have fallen apart more so. So, I also did one bad thing there. I used a Rare Candy right before the Champion. I should not have done that. I should have used the Rare Candy either before Lorelei or after Lorelei. But we'll talk about the differences there. We want to level up going into the Magneton against the Champion so that we are over a damage rounding threshold, but I am not going to be able to do that. So I have bad damage ranges against his team. I can use Hydro Pump to one-shot the Sandslash and Hydro Pump to two-shot the Alakazam. The annoying thing here is that it's using Recover, and I run out of Hydro Pumps because very little PP. My PP couldn't go the distance, so I decided to reset. You cannot get 2 Ice Beam TMs, you only get 1. Okay, so Hydro Pump, then we're going to 2-hit the Alakazam, although at my level, 64% chance to 2-hit it. Crits help, of course. I could paralyze with Thunderbolt, I think that's why I'm using it right now, and I want to save PP on Hydro Pump for later in the fight. The reason we have Hydro Pump is because Surf does not one-shot the Flareon, because Flareon has ridiculous special. Look at it, 158 special. So I can never one-shot with Surf, and if I have to two-shot, that means Flareon will attack once. If Flareon attacks once, it has a chance of using Flamethrower, which does a lot of damage. And after the early stages of the fight, if I want to cut rest out of my route, I will have low HP. So what I found with Lapras previously was it basically steamrolls the entire game, arrives at the Champion, and then it falls apart. My previous strategy with it was mimicking Hypnosis from Executor, putting the Magneton to sleep, knocking it out slowly with Surf, then knocking the Cloyster out and just hoping that I survive the hit from Flareon. Not great. So in this case, we are going to use Hydro Pump for more consistent. Also, I had to be like 6 to 7 levels higher. I think I was finishing the previous one at like level 64 or 65. Now we're finishing around 57, 58. So significantly lower, which cuts early game training, which contributes to the fact that we are here like at least like 5 to 6, maybe 7 minutes faster than we were in the previous playthrough. That is, again, the power of running Hydro Pump and not Surf. Because now with Hydro Pump, we have a 52.8% chance of one-hitting the Flareon. If I leveled up going into the Magneton, and then I would be level 58 for the Flareon, at 58, I have a 69% chance of one-hitting the Flareon. So, small experience rooting problem is going to give me issues here against Flareon, and also the fact that I have forgotten Blizzard. So Blizzard helps knock the Executor out more quickly. It gives me more PP against a Pokemon like the Alakazam, and it also gives me more options for the Magneton, because I wanted to hit the Magneton with either Blizzard or Thunder, or Hydro Pump, sorry. Yeah, you can also, Magneton, like, so the Magneton, what Zealous Pawn's saying there is very true. You do have to Hypnosis the Magneton. You just want to knock it out as fast as possible with a move like Hydro Pump. But like you can see here, after I knock out the Sandslash and the Alakazam, I don't have enough uses of Hydro Pump, so I'm going to have to spend multiple turns against the Magneton to knock it out. And here I'm also having to chance the Executor with special drops from Psychic to hopefully just barely squeeze through. You don't want to play it like this. Psychic is really not that useful against the champion or Lance. Dropping Psychic after Agatha tends to always be the correct play. Like, if you want to play really safe and conservative, rest in the place of Psychic after Agatha. If you want to play a little bit more like risky, maybe you're going to take another offensive move. Okay, here we go. Flareon. I got Hydro Pump. Let's see if it does it. And Flareon goes down to a single crit Hydro Pump. And I clock in with a new personal best, 49 minutes and 14 seconds. That is more than 4 minutes faster than my previous attempt. Wouldn't the Vaporeon team be more difficult than the Flareon team? Green, I do not fight the most difficult team in Yellow version because Yellow is not coded that way. Yellow is coded so that the rival chooses his starter based on the outcome of the first fights. But the first fights are within the player's control and the Pokemon's control. So the Pokemon is allowed to face whichever enemy it wants to, essentially. I would have to lose the lab battle to face Vaporeon. I have to beat him in both locations to face Jolteon. And if I just beat him in the lab and skip the rival on Route 22, I face Flareon. It is a misconception within the community that if you beat him on Route 22 and lose in the lab, that he chooses Flareon. That is not the case. He will still choose Vaporeon. Losing in the lab means he always chooses Vaporeon, regardless of what happens on Route 22. Yeah, this is a really good game time as well. 2 hours and 48 minutes. Kind of ridiculous. Let's look at some damage ranges. Okay, so here's the champion damage ranges. Is sub 40 possible? I don't think so. I think that sub 40 is pushing it a little bit. Like, Starmie feels like it cannot get sub 40 unless it gets really lucky and you have basically the perfect route. But I think it can do it. It's just really challenging to get it. Like, when I replayed Starmie 2 days ago, I got like a 42-minute time. That seems about what Starmie should get on average in most playthroughs. Like maybe like 41 to 42 minutes if you're just playing well and like getting okay luck. My like 40-minute and 49-second time, well, let's go to the tier list and I can just show you current Starmie, 40, 49. I think that that's like getting really good luck with Starmie. Because I had to do, I think it was like 9 playthroughs or 8 playthroughs to get it to there. Beyond that, it gets very, very hard. With Lapras, of course, we have improved its results from here, 53, 39. By the way, we can actually just, we can edit this in this software now live and see it re-rank, but it doesn't really work from this particular view within OBS. So with its new time, 49.14, where do we get placed somewhere here? Ah, yes, so ahead of Jinx, 49.22, behind Poliwrath, 49.14. Lapras is going to be able to do sub 45. I already know that that's possible, like, pretty easily. I think that sub 40 is probably not possible. I think, like, Lapras, if it was able to get a, like, 43-minute time or 42-minute time with Lapras, I think that would be, like, perfect play. Another way that we can look at this to see what's possible is you can take the game time. So we'll look here, 2 hours and 48 minutes. So how many minutes is that? That's 120 minutes plus 48. So we have 168 minutes. Okay, 168 minutes. And then we divide that by 4. And it gives us 42. So that is no resets, optimal play. 42-minute time with Lapras with the current route. So if we want to push the time lower than 42 minutes, because that's like the one-to-one relationship between game time and real time. So the best possible time that the route that we just played could get is 42 minutes. So it's not going to beat Starmie. Like I said before, it's not going to beat Starmie, but it does have potential to be very good. But I think there's a few things that we can do to improve the route. Okay, and Zealous is responsible for these additions. So again, thank you, Zealous. Out of curiosity, would it be possible to make the routing software mark moves the AI will not use on the screen that shows the damage ranges? Yeah, probably. Anything's possible. we have access to everything in the game in real time. So anything's possible. It's not like, it's more like, what should we prioritize next? Like, do we build the routing software for Generation 4? Or do we work on implementing a new function across all generations? Are you going to go for Gyarados Surf Strike? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Should I do it? Maybe we'll do it next week. It's kind of a funny idea. Then we're going to do fire types as well. We're going to do Arcanine, Ninetales, and Rapidash at some point in the near future. Maybe we'll do a Flamethrower Strike, because none of them can learn it. At least I don't think they can. Maybe Ninetales? If any of them... No, it can't. It doesn't start with them. Because we're going to start with fully evolved Pokemon. I also am I'm gonna come back and do another Victory Bell playthrough on stream. And we're going to see if we can get like a sub 35 minute time with it. Yes, literally sub 35 minute. That is the difference between a Pokemon like Lapras and Victory Bell. It's like 10 minutes. It's ridiculous how good Victory Bell is. Victory Bell is like... It's going to give Mewtwo a run for its money, I think. Honestly. Okay. So damage ranges. You can see her Hydro Pump. 52.8% chance to knock out the Flareon with one hit. If I go up one level over a damage rounding threshold, 69%. Nice. Yeah, and if you're trying to get into solo running Generation 1, I recommend starting with Victory Bell because it's so simple. You have Sleep Powder. Every time you run into a problem, just use Sleep Powder. Set up with Swords Dance. Destroy everything with Body Slam until Agatha. Then teach Mimic over Razor Leaf and use Lick to beat her. So simple. Okay. So I should have had Blizzard for this fight, right? Like, this is one of the mistakes. So, the idea of, like, facing... Like, it's fine to, like, say that we should, like, face Jolteon should be better than Flareon, but, like, we can actually compare these things, so we should just compare them. What I found with Starmie the other day when I reran it is we did run against the Jolteon team, and it was significantly slower. Like, there was an offset about, like, 45 seconds in the early game just to face Jolteon. So you're paying to make it easier against the champion, and it's not always better. So we can also, like, check out damage ranges against the Jolteon team. That's another thing. This is Yellow, Lapras, Stream 2. This is the second stream I've done with Lapras. We've been trying to get better times with it over and over and over again. Okay, so here we'll face the Jolteon team. We'll look at damage ranges. So Hydro Pump has to 2-hit the Jolteon now. Basically, if we run against Jolteon, we're going to have to Mimic Earthquake. And mimicking Earthquake at this level will not 1-hit the Jolteon. So now we're going to have to 2-hit the Jolteon. So then we would have to Badge Boost on the Alakazam getting hit by Kinesis, which makes the rest of the battle just not possible. Earthquake is not going to be better if we're going to beat the game at this level. So Jolteon is harder for Lapras specifically than the Flareon team. It's basically not possible at this level. I would need to level up. So we can go and we can level up. And as you see, we hit 60. Now we have a 50% chance, about 48, to one-hit the Jolteon with Mimicked Earthquake. But if you're willing to play a little bit more conservatively and spend time fighting trainers, if you just get Lapras to level 63 and then fight the Jolteon team, you have a 93.2% chance to one-shot with Earthquake. So then it's a reasonable strategy. And like that's like the level I was going into the champion fight with last time when I was doing Lapras. Again, 53-minute, 39-second time. So I think that Lapras is going to be better against the Flareon team because it doesn't have badge boosting moves and because Earthquake's damage range is just not good enough against the champion at the low level of 57 or 58. You could hope, to be fair, like let's just examine everything. You could hope that the Jolteon goes for Thunder and misses. That is a way to win, but that's not a way that I want to win. So, and also, like, you're going to sacrifice time in the early game to get the Jolteon team, and, like, why would you sacrifice time in the early game when you can just beat Brock right away? To me, it makes no sense to pay extra time for the Jolteon team and then hope for luck at the end at a lower level. Instead, just fight the Flareon team with a better range from Hydro Pump, and then we win. Although I do think that when you're playing a run and you're going into it blind, if you're using a water type, you should face the Jolteon team. It will make things easier on you than facing the Magneton. So that's like if you're gonna play the game and you're going in blind, you don't have the damage ranges figured out, fight the Jolteon team with water types. It is easier. Magneton is much better. Magneton has a higher special stat than Jolteon does in Generation 1. Plus, it has Thunder Wave and Thunderbolt, so it cannot miss. There is a debuff on some status moves that the enemy uses in Generation 1, causing them to miss 25% of the time. Thunder Wave does not have this debuff, so it will either paralyze you, then hit you with Thunderbolt, or it will just hit you with Thunderbolt right away and deal a lot of damage. Magneton is terrifying with water types. So fighting Jolteon tends to be more reliable. It has lower defense. That way you can mimic Earthquake and then knock it out more easily, especially if you have a badge boosting move like Harden. Then you should be able to run Earthquake against the Jolteon team and have no problems, provided you won't level up going into the Jolteon, which can be a problem with medium slow growth rate Pokemon like Poliwag. But luckily it has Amnesia, so you can just kind of like sidestep everything and just hit for like crazy damage with special moves. Also Poliwhirl coming soon. It's gonna be a beast. Okay. So we're gonna load up Zealous new route and then look at exactly what he did in terms of changes. Then I'm gonna take like a 5-minute break and then we're gonna play like 2 or 3 playthroughs. I think this is the right one. Yeah, it does. Okay. This is Zealous new route. We'll bring up the move summary so you can see. Nope. There we go. Those are the moves. This is how it looks. So we should be learning Blizzard for Lance in the place of Psychic, and then keeping Blizzard, Mimic, Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump for the champion. Absolutely hilarious. For experience rooting, we have to talk about the end game. Also, just please look at this column right here where I'm leveling up. Take away this. Look at how many times after the final Pokemon in a battle, Lapras levels up. This is beautiful. So beautiful. Gosh. Slow clap for Zealous Pond. I'm going to change one thing. I'm going to take one trainer out of his route. I don't think it's needed for Misty. And this bug catcher gives trash experience. You level up after this, then you level up into the Starmie. So you're the level you would be anyways for the Starmie. You don't need one more level for the Staryu, I don't think. That's like the only change that I could see to make to this route. It just feels very, very, very good. And yeah, in this software we can like filter stuff, so like see when we're using vitamins, that sort of thing. Okay, so let's bring up the plan again. Okay, so plan, we're gonna run basically the same strat, just with Blizzard at the end of the game, Mimic starting at Lorelei, and rare candies are slightly, I think they're slightly different here. No, mostly the same. So level 34 up to 40 with 6 in Sylph before the rival, then Koga, then Sabrina. Sabrina's Alakazam levels you up to 46, where you get Hydro Pump, and then 4 rare candies to 50 over 2 damage rounding thresholds to face Blaine. Beyond that, Giovanni is trivial with Ice Beam. Rival 4 is only annoying if the Magneton paralyzes you. And then 1 rare candy before Lorelei, and let's examine that experience. So 1 rare candy here in Victory Road before Lorelei, then level up after Hitmonchan on Bruno, Haunter on Agatha. These don't matter because we're not badge boosting. Level up going into the this is going into them, going into the Aerodactyl, and then going into the Magneton. So we get our damage range boost here, level 58, at the Magneton. That's exactly where we want it, so that we 2-hit consistently after mimicking Hypnosis. We put the Magneton to sleep, Hypnosis, then 2-hit with either Blizzard or Hydro Pump. This is how you have to do it if you want to beat the champion at this low of a level, with decent consistency. I believe, after looking at the route that Zealous Pond put together, that this is the most consistent, lowest level route with Lapras. Maybe you can start shaving off a couple more levels and get risky, but I think that this is like the nice middle ground where I'll be happy with it as a final route for Lapras. Because up until this point, I haven't really felt like I was happy with something. I was just like, well, we're just like chancing Hypnosis on the Magneton at level 64, which doesn't feel good, or 63. It's like, fine, like you can do it, but yeah, it's not much better. Someone's going to say, just Earthquake the Magneton. No. It's a mono electric type. That does not work in this game. So here's Earthquake against the Magneton. 2-hit. 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 You still have to Hypnosis it. It's painful. Even with Gyarados. 2 hit. My new Gyarados route leveled it up just slightly a little bit more, so it has like a 50% chance to one hit the Magneton. It's painful. Painful. Anyways, Hypnosis is what you want. Hypnosis at least gives you a 60% chance to get by the Magneton, which is as good as you can do. And then Hydro Pump for the Flareon. What about saving Ice Beam TM so you can get the first Ice Beam from level up and fight Erica later? But like, why? Now I have to teach 2 moves. That's going to slow me down. It's going to slow me down. Like, I just want it. Like, you just don't want to, you just don't want to have to teach more stuff when you can, like that's a small optimization, and the mid game is not something that Lapras struggles with, so I don't think it's necessary. We want to like keep it simple. Stupid is great whenever the Pokemon doesn't struggle. Like, just don't get too like okay, you could teach, like, let's say another Pokemon. You could teach Swift for Sabrina just to win for free with the flash strategy. But if it can just like spam Body Slam and get 2 hits all across the board, Sabrina isn't consistent enough. Like, it doesn't matter. Don't go pick up the Swift TM. Like, keep it simple. Just like Body Slam, good physical move, just use that. Okay. We can actually see the number of saves that I did, because someone said, like, just don't save, you'll save a bunch of time. We can see how many saves Zealous Pawn did. Game saves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 saves in total. Each save costs roughly 4 to 5 seconds. If we go 5 times 13, 65 seconds. 1 minute and 5 seconds spent saving the game. So yes, if we can cut saves, it will save time. Vermilion Gym is 2 saves, so 1 was a mistake. Probably forgot to heal. And then Route 9, this will be before the Wrapping Lass, which is required in case paralysis. Sylph before the Rival is required in case critical hits or paralysis. Fuchsia City Gym, this one can probably be skipped because Koga's kind of bad. Saffron Gym, you have Body Slam. Probably want to do it in case you get hit by a crit. So there's 1 save that we could remove, the Fuchsia City Gym save, and one of these 2. That's 10 seconds. Cinnabar Island. Yeah, with how my Blaine fight went, I probably want to do it. The Viridian City Gym save is likely irrelevant. Route 22 Rival, maybe. No Bruno save, which is good. You could, if we're being really risky, we can cut some of the Elite 4 saves as well. Like maybe Agatha save. It's not if you're going to run Substitute. It's like you spend the time one way or another, with Substitute or with this save. Lance, probably you want to save just in case Blizzard misses. And then the Champion save, which you do want to do. That's definitely one of the least consistent fights. So we can probably cut 3 saves, save 15 seconds like that. Obviously, you could just do no saves and play the run like 100 times, but I'm going to beat all the main series games with every species. So if I'm going to do that, I cannot actually play like 45 runs with each Pokemon. All right, let's just quickly break down all the main things, and then we're going to get into the second run. So we are going to fight the Junior Trainer. That's the only optional trainer in the early game. Lass on Route 3. After the Lass on Route 3, we're going to do just the Hiker and Mount Moon as an optional trainer. That's the only one. Bide, we're going to teach as soon as possible. Then Junior Trainer in Misty's gym. Fight Misty, starting level 15. I will just Bide the Staryu, and then get Sing for the Starmie. Bubble Beam for Route 3, or for Rival 2. And then Route 24 and 25, minimum battles, which is a lot. Then we're going to fight the Youngster to get Body Slam, skipping Rest. And we are going to get the Gentleman Candy. Surge. It'll be painful, but we'll make it. Gambler, obviously. Minimum battles through this section of the game. 2 Carbos. Ice Beam. Psychic. Then we're going to go to the Rival and Pokemon Tower, sweep through these trainers, go to the Cool Trainer in Erica's gym, guaranteed 1 hits, Ice Beam, almost guarantees on the Weeping Belt and the Gloom, 73 and 89, 2 hit on the Tangela, but it's less intimidating. Plus we do like 86% damage, minimum damage range to it, and Mega Drain will not heal enough to save it from the 2-hit. That's sometimes one thing you have to be careful with, like with Starmie. Like if Ice Beam is doing like just 50%, then like the Mega Drain can heal it, then you have to take 3 hits, hits you with a second Mega Drain, now you're in a worse position for the follow-up 2 Pokemon if you can't one-hit them. So Sylph is where we do the majority of the optional training. Of course, Machoke guy for the rare candy. Then this Raticate guy, I call him like the Raticate guy because he has 4 Pokemon and he starts with the Raticate. Then there's this person who is like the second 4 Pokemon trainer. I don't know why I think of him about like the Arbok 4 trainer. Then there's the Scientist 5. He has 5 Pokemon, really good experience yields. Arbok, who is mandatory. There's a Blackout here from Zealous route. That's fun. We should take out this Raticate and see what happens. No, it doesn't act... Oh, it does matter. Interesting. Maybe that's why the Bug Catcher is back here. Let's add the Bug Catcher back in and see if it fixes everything. If the Bug Catcher fixes everything, then we gotta fight someone else. Yeah, the Bug Catcher fixes it. That's so funny. Wait, there might be someone else we can fight for fast experience. This rocket is like the Hypno rocket. Sometimes he'll hypnosis you or confuse you, and then bad things happen. It's very, very painful. But we want to get to level 34 and then use 6 rare candies. This is though where like what if we just take out that guy and then we like, because sometimes you overfill with experience slightly. So like this Bug Catcher way back here is not really helping us in any meaningful way. He's just wasting our time. We have to walk over and fight him. He gives really bad experience. But what if we do like head down and do the Safari Zone stuff first and then dig back to Celadon City before Erica? Like, okay, so like after Pokemon Tower, these Weezings are 2 hits. These are mostly 1 hits. Then do we level up without this Raticate? Yeah, we do. Do we make it to the champion at 57 with the Magneton? Magneton level up to 58? We do. Have you considered running Tombstoner? I should, bro. Shout out to Gym Leader Matt. But you want to level up after Sabrina. You do level up after Sabrina still this way. It works both ways. No, don't do it, Scott. The Safari Zone is off level 30. Oh, I see why you put it later. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. You convinced me, because you'll run into wild Pokemon. You can't block the encounters if you're not a high enough level. So we want to do the Safari Zone after. Yeah, okay. That's fair. This will put me at a lower level. I wonder if instead of the Bug Catcher, we fight the Onyx guy. Like, can we just route the Onyx guy in? There's this Onyx guy up here. He gives speed. What route is this? 25? He's like Hiker 4? He has 1 Onyx. You just one-shot it. Like, it's so fast. It's so fast, and then, like, maybe he solves the same problem, and then we don't have to fight the Bug Catcher, which will be more ideal. Yes, this works. Alright, we're fighting the Onyx guy. Starmie was going to fight him too. Apparently he's good if you just need quick experience. The Bug Catcher, you could fight the Bug Catcher though and then get Sing for Staryu. But I kind of just want to run Bide for Staryu anyways. I don't know. That's tricky. Anyways, we fight all those trainers. Last one's Arbok guy. Wait, who? Machoke. Raticate 4. Arbok 4. Scientist 5. Arbok mandatory. Hypno Sandwich. Then 6 rare candies. Rival. Then south to the Safari. 1-hit everything for better number of turns in battle. 2 Tamers in Koga's gym for optional experience. Then Psych. Nope. Yep, then Psych. Then Sabrina after digging out a mansion. Then Blaine at level 50 with 4 rare candies. Then Giovanni at 51, swoop with Ice Beam. Then Rival. pray you don't get paralyzed. Then 1 candy before Lorelei. No level up during that battle, level up during Bruno, Agatha, and Lance. And then level up into Magneton on the champion to 58. Hypnosis, Magneton, win. Okay, let's play a bunch of playthroughs. I'm going to take a 2-minute break, just use the washroom, drink some water. Everyone else, hydrate as well. And I will be right back. And we're going to see if we can get a better time with Lapras. I think we can. Okay. Are you ready? Lapras, Pokemon Yellow. Let's do this. Sorry, I'm still getting adjusted here, apparently. I thought I had everything set up. I'm so unprepared. Alright, now I'm ready. No, I'm not. My windows are not quite perfect. There's a lot of software behind the scenes. Okay. Now we're ready. Alright, so I'm playing live now. My commentary is going to be less coherent because I got to focus on actually beating the opponent, which is yellow version. My nemesis, my love. You know, there's like that really like kind of awful saying that's like women can't live with them or without them. I feel like that's yellow version. It's like can't live with it when Magneton is just constantly one-hitting you with Thunderbolt. Can't live without it. Okay. Let's go. Alright, 1 second slower already. I'm getting warmed up today. I haven't played at all, so my play is going to be a little bit sloppy in the early game. Oh, sweet. I got through there on minimum tiles. That's always nice. Oh my... Ah. I actually did it going back too. Luckily, no encounters. We can't get encounters though. They're turned off. I try to still play the same way that I would otherwise. Otherwise, I think the comparisons are a little bit off. If you feel like this stream... Oh, again! No way. Sweet. Alright. Yeah, Blaine is pretty rough for Lapras if you don't run Surf and you don't run Hydro Pump. And Hydro Pump with more damage lets you do it at a lower level. Hey, Pidgey right away. Okay. Let's go. 2 water guns for optimal chance to catch. Someone said that catching is glitched in this game in a recent comment. It is not. Lowering health does help improve catch chances, I'm pretty sure. The Pidgeys always break out when I just throw the ball, and then when I damage them a little bit, they always stay in. Okay. Yeah, everyone, if you like what I do and you want to support me, you can check me out on Patreon in the link in the description, or you can click the little join button here on YouTube. Both work just as well, whatever's more convenient for you. And it also helps to just subscribe to the channel and also like the video. That helps get it out to more people, and the more people that watch, the cooler things we can do here behind the scenes. Okay, Brock. Simple. Water gun. Then water gun again. That's that. Plus 5 seconds. Oh, no. Getting poisoned here just forces you to open the inventory, which is annoying. Because you don't want to be poisoned for the next battle. Youngster Ben has Wrap, and Wrap stacks poison damage really quickly. It's not worth it to try this fight without the heal. Like this would have been devastating. Really devastating, actually. I would have lost. But now I can keep playing. This is slightly faster than the other trainer, unless you can knock out bug Pokemon very quickly. Oh, crit. That was the only way to knock that out. Oh, and I got a 36% chance for the 2-hit there, so lucky fight. I think most Pokemon do better in Red and Blue. Red and Blue tend to be the easier games. That was one of the reasons why I chose to play Yellow when I first started the channel. Like, these games, like, it seems much more difficult. Like, a lot of the Pokemon have better movesets, things like that. There's, like, Rhydon on the Champions team. That thing's useless. Like, much worse than Sandslash. He doesn't have a Magneton. Like, oh my gosh, all the good Pokemon are gone. I don't want to fight this guy. We do want to fight this guy. That's not a mistake. It was a mistake. I wanted to talk to him from the right-hand side, but it'll take me a little bit of time to get around him now. Because I'm going to bonk and have to move one tile like that. See? A little bit inefficient. If you can bump into him from the right side, then things tend to be just a little bit easier. Okay. Oh, I forgot to teach Bide. Hopefully he doesn't disable me. Come on. Yay! We're fine. Does the champion have Pokemon that learn moves beyond their level up moves? I don't think so. Oh, is it the Pidgeot and the starters get a TM move? Okay. Maybe. The movesets in Red and Blue are just so trash. All of them are so bad. Oh gosh. Gonna get me? Gonna have to restart? I don't want to restart. Yeah! Sweet! Oh my gosh. 1 hit point, are you kidding me? What a close fight. Never punished, yeah. Tail Whip badge boosts me, but it doesn't help because I'm using a special move. Very sad. Okay, here we go. Alright, Misty. Bide. Tackle, tackle, tackle. 3 tackles into a Bide? Alright, let's go. Let's go! Oh my gosh, again. But that one's less helpful. We learn Sing here. We'll go for Bide right away and hopefully... Oh, crit? Okay. And another tackle. Yeah! 1 hit the Starmie. Alright. Sweet Misty fight. 2 minutes and 23 seconds ahead of former pace. So really nice. Because I had resets to Misty before. Oh my gosh. This feels so good. Alright. It's like, if you were shooting for the absolute lowest possible time, that's what you want. You want this kind of Misty fight. You don't want to save for the rival if you have a special move. Especially something that hits for super effective damage against the Sandshrew. Really, the only reason he's annoying is if Growl lowers your attack and then you can't do any damage to the Sandshrew and the remaining Pokemon. Or, for instance, you're going to take like multiple hits to knock out the Sandshrew and then you get hit by Sand Attack. Those are the reasons. Now teach Bide to Shedinja. Oh, amazing. That sounds like a fun playthrough. So I'm going to be watching the damage ranges here, and whenever I can get away with it, I'm going to be using Water Gun instead so I can heal less. Like for this fight I have to use Bubble Beam on both. Only a 75% chance to one-hit the Nidoran female, but I did get it. For this one, 100% with Bubble Beam on everything. Only a 59% on Water Gun against the Rattata, so I didn't go for it. For this one, 75%, then a 2-hit. It's a 2-hit with either Bubble Beam or Water Gun, so I'm going to go for Water Gun. As you can see, my PP is getting a little bit low. Need to be careful to keep that up as much as possible. This is a 2-hit either way, so Water Gun. Don't forget Onyx Trainer, thank you. He can be kind of scary because he has Low Kick. Low Kick is not weight-based in Generation 1, it's 50 base power, 30% chance to flinch. Bubble Beam, both of these. It'll probably be Bubble Beam Water Gun on the Hiker. Get Charmander, HM user for cut and dig. This guy's mandatory. You need to fight him or the Onyx guy. 57% chance on the Machop. Oh, I got it. Cool. Water Gun to save BP. Missed. No, you're trash. Sorry. Elixir. Then Onyx guy. Obviously Water Gun. This is probably 2 Bubble Beams. Yep. Yeah, weight-based would be bad for Lapras. I don't know how much Lapras weighs, but it doesn't look like super light. 120 base power? Yeah, that'd be really bad. Oh, Water Gun here. Then Bubble Beam. .74% chance to 2-hit, but they have Absorb, so it's going to take a while. okay. I could have water gunned that. It has 84% damage range. Or a chance to KO. In Pokemon, people often think about like what does the most damage, but the thing you really want to be thinking about when playing Pokemon is how many turns does it take to knock out. Hopefully this entire section of the game demonstrates that. As long as you have the same number of turns to knock out, using the weaker move is equivalent. It doesn't actually matter. Or using the move that's not very effective. It doesn't matter. As long as you have the same number of turns to knock out. This is a 52%, darn. I was hoping. Two hit on the Drowsy. Yeah, skip heal I think too. Ether. Do you go down the right-hand corridor on the SSN to grab the ether, or do you skip it? 100% with Bubble Beam. I'll heal and ether after this. Like, because I'm wondering if I should go down the other route. This is a 2-hit either way, so I'm going to take the PP efficient route. Don't need it? Okay. I guess because we get Body Slam, yeah, that's true. 3 repels there. That's for the dark cave area. Oh, probably should have water gunned there. No, it's a 33% chance to water gun. 2-hit. Not great. Growl's kind of useless outside of the early game. There's some small cases where Growl gets useful, but usually lower than the opponent's stats. It becomes kind of an irrelevant strategy once you get by the first 2 gym leaders. Beyond that, you want to be raising your own stats. We're fine. Body Slam cannot paralyze the Eevee. 2 minutes and 10 seconds ahead of former pace. Now, will Surge be awful? Let's find out. I am probably going to have to full restore here to heal. Yeah, we'll full restore. I don't want to go into that battle with low health. And save. Okay, Surge, let's do this. The sidebars are currently not publicly available, I'm sorry. Oh, he gets us once. The sidebars will hopefully be available again, and I will announce it on my channel when they are. Yeah, we did it. Only 1 reset. Okay, not bad. 2 minutes and 23 seconds ahead of former pace now. That's pretty good. We saved a lot of time on Misty and Surge, just being more consistent here. And remember, we're not going to forget Blizzard for the late game, so there'll be also easier time there against the champion. I'd be really happy with 43 minutes, but I'd also be happy with something under 45 minutes for today. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as we're doing better than we did last time. We don't need Sing or Water Gun. We'll delete Water Gun this time because someone commented on it, and we didn't actually... Oh my gosh, fumble. There. We're gonna take this save for regular reasons. Yeah, I'm like hoping to get the GameHook got taken down by the developer so that it's not publicly available. My overlay requires GameHook to be used. So it's like I can give you my software, but if you don't have GameHook, you just can't use it. So we're working on a replacement, and once that's ready, then we will roll out this software again. I'm just gonna do this. CNX, hello. That heals probably, oh my gosh. Fumbles with the bike. Why don't use the bike? Okay. Yeah, slow level up group's real bad. So I talked about saving there before, but this time I brought Sing, so. Oh, and the Oddish just doesn't sleep powder me. Hey, we're gonna get through this without having to heal. Last time I had to paralyze heal there, I think. After, which wastes some time, a little bit more time in the inventory. That's perfect tile. You just don't want to accidentally run into the last or junior trainer that's blocking the other door, so you have to be on the perfect tile. I'm looking at like the edges of the screen to align certain tiles to the edge, and then I know that I'm on the right tile, so that I can move through to like the ladder and stuff like that. I just don't want to bump into trainers that I want to avoid. So I have to 2-hit the Oddish. It can get annoying with status moves. It just misses. Okay. Simple. Alright, we're through that's like the early game, which is really difficult for Starmie and like less difficult for Lapras, but I would say slower. It feels kind of slower. We're through that section of the game. Now things get a lot easier, more straightforward, because we're just going to go up to Psychic Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Body Slam, and just completely destroy everyone. Could also fight that trainer there with the Poliwag and Poliwhirl. I don't know if Zolfon, if you considered him. He's another gambler, I think. Or a cue ball or something. Might want to consider him, because we have Thunderbolt. Do we deposit or do we not deposit? Yeah, remember PP ups. I know, I was skipping PP ups. I have been recently to try and save time, but I think with this route, running Hydro Pump and Blizzard, I think the PP ups are important. They don't take that much more time, so you might as well just get it. Yeah, Mew is medium slow. Oh, they're faster than us. Okay, that's why we don't want to fight them. Yeah, that makes sense. Mew does only start with transform, or it's like pound and transform. Pound and transform. Yeah. Okay. Because we won't Mimic for the late game, so we're going to get the double Pokédoll. Then the Ice Beam TM. We can buy 2 fresh water at the same time if you don't want to sell. And I don't want to sell. I want to just get 2 Carbos. I should use those when teaching Fly, but small mistake. I'm going to see it through now. Okay. Yeah, I've considered buying just regular repels, but I think it's slower because you have to open the inventory more times throughout the playthrough if you buy like 7 regular repels or something earlier into the run. I think that's super repels. I know some people buy them in Lavender Town too, but I'm already in Celadon, so. Let's go. We can look at Kangaskhan's time. Remind me after. I'll bring it up on the tier list. We can check it out. Ice Beam, as I said before. I'm going to put Ice Beam in the second slot. Let's go. Okay, rival. 2 minutes and 36 seconds ahead. So we saved a tiny bit of time during that section of the game despite grabbing the PP ups. That's probably execution based and luck during battles, like things like the sleep. And paralysis. I think I can do better with Kangaskhan if I run it again. No, we need Blizzard. We need the damage from it. We have to drop Ice Beam. We have to drop Ice Beam for a Mimic. Yeah, we went through all the damage ranges. Go back, rewind in the video, you'll see. Lapras is going to beat the game at level 58, which is quite low. So that's why we need to have more damage from the moves, because we don't have a stat raising move. Yeah, Kangaskhan is like a better Snorlax in Generation 1. I don't know about competitive, but in this it's like one of the best normal types because it has medium slow growth rate. It's really good. It's going to be disgusting in Generation 2 when I do it. Go and check out Snowy's video if you haven't already seen it. There's a video on my channel about it too, where we discuss the run. Yeah. Yeah, there's not really a problem with Brock, with Kangaskhan. You just spam Rage. Rage is really good against Brock. His Geodude powers it up, and then you just destroy him. Yeah, Erica, and then we're going to go to Sylph. We're going to train to... what's it called? 30 something. I'm not going to save. If we lose, we lose. It's going to be a meme moment. I don't think we're going to lose. Yeah, we're not going to lose. We're good. Get crushed. Oh! Never mind, we're good. A little bit, 2 seconds ahead there. If we had got the one hit, that would have been maybe an extra second. Yeah, 34, then 6 rare candies, yep. Machoke guy, then the 2-4, then the 5 scientist. Arbok guy. And, what's his name? Hypno Sandwich. Okay, Confuse Ray. Nope. I don't know if I need this Carbos. This is the first of the 4 trainers. Oh, should I Ice Beam that? Sorry. My bad. Matthew, it's good to have you here. Glad you can join for a stream. Use Carbos now? Okay. Probably because we're going to go over the threshold for Carbos. No, we won't. We're still low enough level. We won't be close. Oh, are you kidding me? I thought that was going to get it. 95% chance. Do we need this? I don't know if we need this. Maybe we can cut that in the next round. 5 scientists is over here. Ice Beam. Oh, 1 hit. That was only with the crit. What about 4 Hypno Sandwich? What's for Hypno Sandwich? No save. %91% chance to 2-hit the Hypno. We're good. Level 34. Beautiful. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go. Ice Beam. Thunderbolt. Back to Ice Beam for the Magneton. Maybe a freeze. That would be cool. Nope, crit. Also good. Body Slam for the Kadabra. Ice Beam for the Flareon. Hey, 3 minutes and 1 second ahead. It's going really well. This is going really well. This is a good run. Really happy with this. I'm actually playing much better on stream these days. I don't know what it is. Like, I have been eating better and I'm feeling like mentally sharper. But I do think that my play on stream has greatly improved. And maybe it's just I'm also getting more and more comfortable and used to streaming because I was pretty new at it when I started at the beginning of like this year, I guess. That's kind of when I feel like I started streaming regularly on the channel. So, yeah. Okay, we're going to Koga next. Yeah, we're doing it. We are. Oh, that's not doing it. Clicking right before you get... Oh, I haven't been to Fuchsia City X. Never mind, I need to go here anyways. It was all part of the plan. I'm not used to this. See, I'm used to having the Fuchsia City waypoint by the time I'm there. I'm also getting better at reading the chat and like knowing what to look for. Scott is entering his prime. Yeah, I do feel like that. This year does feel like that for the channel. Last year in October, it felt like the first time where we're like, wow, we can actually make a video like pretty fast and the quality is exactly the same. Where is it? It's there. I'm not gonna get stuck in that one spot. Look at that. Look at that. Genius. Not getting stuck for like 2 seconds. I was on a call with people. We were like working on stuff behind the scenes. There's like, I think three or four of us in the call. And then like I was playing the replay back to demonstrate something about tech that I wanted to talk about. And then it kept, like I kept going over that spot where I just got stuck in the little crevasse, the like gap, the Smash Math tree. Oop. So yeah, coming here now at 43, my repels are going to block all the wild Pokemon. Each wild Pokemon you run into is about a 3-second time loss on 4 times game speed. So you want to avoid doing it, or avoid running into Pokemon if you can. If you run into like 3, you lose 9 seconds. It's pretty painful. Don't need protein. It doesn't seem like a lot, but those things really add up. Because if you allow that to sneak through, then you're probably like gonna play the run. It's suggesting that you might play the run sloppy in other areas as well. And then if you're playing sloppy in other places, yeah, it's gonna just spiral out of control. Okay, Koga. So here's a difference between Starmie and Lapras. For Lapras here, I have access to Body Slam, which is a guaranteed one-hit on all of these Pokemon. Whereas even if Starmie runs Surf, I still don't think it gets guaranteed one-hits. And also the damage range on the Drowsies, the lowest damage is 101% damage. It's really beautiful when things like that happen. It's like, oh yeah, lined it up so well. We got here at the perfect time. Yeah, in solo runs, there's always moments where like you can turn your brain off, like going into battles. Like, I'm just going to spam a bunch so I can quickly look over. Then I can look back for the battle and then look over here where the battle's ending, that kind of thing. Yeah, if we taught Surf, we wouldn't have Body Slam, so then we would be struggling in these fights a little bit more. Oh, 25% chance to get that, to knock it out. And I did. Oh, should I keep the poison? I'm going to keep the poison. Then they can't Toxic me or put me to sleep if I Gen 1 miss. I have guarantees on all the Venonats and then an 89.7% chance on the Venomoth. Let's just hope it doesn't get really annoying with double team, which is exactly what it's doing. Alright, we got it. Good, level 45. Sorry, there's going to be some poison animation here. It's going to be flashy and disgusting. Psych. The trainer named after Ike the Killer. And Sea King. S-I-K-E. If you want the spelling. Alright. Crush him. For great experience. And then we're gonna do Mansion. Oh. That overworld was just like chef's kiss. Sometimes I accidentally use that vitamin on my Squirtle. It happens a lot more than I would like to admit. Oh. Fumble, fumble, fumble. We can go. Don't need to heal. Get Mimic. Alright, Sabrina. I use rare candies. Yeah, the Abra rare candy in the... Oh my gosh, we got hit by Flash. Kind of annoying. Psywave. Okay, Psywave. Psywave's fine, you know, Psywave's a pretty bad move. Alright, well, I guess we're just okay. Yeah, Sabrina is usually pretty bad. Whenever someone is like, Sabrina's good. No, Sabrina's really not good. Okay, PP ups. Someone tell me, Zealous Pawn, what do you do PP ups on? Hydro Pump now? Like 3 or 2? Or what is it? I don't actually know what I'm supposed to do. Probably like 1 at least on Hydro Pump before Blaine, I think, so that I don't get in the same position I was in last time. Probably PP ups on Blizzard only. Okay. Rare candies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Save. Okay, Blaine. Come on, Blaine. Come on. Come on. Yes, Hydro Pump. 1 shots, 9 tails. Also, we have 110 speed, which is 1 more than the, or 2 more than the 9 tails. Okay, Fire Blast, not very much damage, and win. Easy, Blaine. Simple. Look at that. I almost said trash fire types, but then I knew Ike the Killer would come for me. Ike, I'm gonna love fire types after I play them all again in the next month or so. Tombstoner brother, that's right. It's actually not gambling on Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump is more consistent than Surf for this route because of damage ranges in the champion fight. It's really, really, really funny. And then you can get through way underleveled. Zealous Pawn came up with it. So good. Okay. Giovanni. Remember, Ice Beam is just fine to sweep this fight with. Oh. Well, that's really good start for him. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, okay. He can also win if he uses Fissure because of my speed, but there's nothing I can do about that. It's hilarious. A very unfortunate reset to Giovanni. Oh my gosh. He's out for blood right now. Look at this guy go. The Persian always crits with Slash because of its base speed. So that's why. It's just so funny that the Dig crit from the Doug Trio. Like, if it didn't crit, then I would have won. But the Dig crit too. And then 2 slashes. Like, the Persian can also go for double team or something like that. It didn't have to just spam that move. So there was like multiple layers of unlucky. Alright, come on. What do we do against this thing? Is it Ice Beam? It's Ice Beam, because the Hydro Pump does not one-shot. Alright, this is the bad scenario. Yeah. Go. Nope, not like this. This is bad. I think I lose now. Ooh! No! Yes! Yeah! That's right. When Hydro Pump and Fire Spin meet, which one misses? In this case, both did, giving me the win. Yeah, crit from Dark True isn't that unlikely, but it's unlikely for it to be in combination with 2 slashes in a row from the Persian. It's like, It would have been better if it just, like, it like baited me into, because like if it just fissured and knocked me out, it's like, okay, well I get a fast reset, that's fine. But like, no, we're gonna crit you, let you play against the Persian for just a little bit more time. Unlike Starmie, I do need this rare candy. Because with badge boosts, you want perfect experience rooting. Without badge boosts, you still want perfect experience rooting, but you want damage ranges, so levels are always helpful. Even if they don't get you over a damage running threshold, but this one does. See how I'm just over the level 53? I need to use this before I face Lorelei. To go to 54, and then everything will line up for the champion. Oops. Oh my gosh. Bump fingers. It's embarrassing. That feels like the first major mistake of this run, actually. It's like just pushing a rock a little bit too much. Not a huge deal. Wasted like, what, 2 seconds? Feels bad more than anything else. Probably should have repelled on Route 22 if I'm going with this many repels. 10 instead of 9. Teach Candy and Mimic, yes. Yes. I will remember. This route feels easy to memorize. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel as complicated as a lot of other routes. You don't have to remember like a bunch of Swords Dance numbers and stuff like that. It's very simple. Ooh. Too many items. Candy. Mimic goes in the place of Ice Beam. Let's go. Alright, Lorelei. Cooperate. No. Mimic Earthquake doesn't knock out the Magneton in one hit like we showed before. We have to Mimic Hypnosis and put it to sleep. It's the only way. Alright. Psychic turn 1 is better than Amnesia, so I have more damage. Oh, sure. I'm on low health. I'm going to 2-hit the Machamp, so I am going to heal. But I'm not going to save. Just please don't crit Machamp. If the Machamp crits, I'll just laugh. We'll start again. 111 to 131% damage if the Machamp crits me with Submission. Nope, Karate Chop, we're good. I understand now why people were mad at me though for using Hypnosis, because if you've played later generations like Gen 2 and on, Hypnosis is trash. That move is so bad after Generation 1. But in Gen 1 it's pretty good because you can still use it again when they go to sleep. Or when they wake up. They just like wake up, you just do it again, put them back to sleep, take no damage. It feels really good. Oh. Damage ranges here are not great, but this is because we're so underleveled. Okay, we woke up right away and she switched. That was like the perfect scenario for us. Hypnosis does hit through Substitute, unlike in later generations. Sometimes that can fall apart, but we got through. It was very sketchy. Super tense. 410. Blizzard in the place of Psychic, which is the top slot. Let me just raise its PP real quick. Save and go. I haven't calced Thunderbolt there, so I went with the Hydro Pump on the Jinx. That's why. I don't actually know the damage ranges. Blizzard is better for the Aerodactyl here. Alright. Fine. At least we missed there and not on the Dragonite. Get hit by a crit Fire Blast. That'd be fun. Alright. Here we go. Oh my gosh, look at the time. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this time is so good. Let's go. Oh, you kidding me? Miss on the first Blizzard? Alright, let's go. Let's go. Come on, yeah. 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 Hypnosis, please. Yes. Ah, yes. Come on. Oh my gosh. Don't fumble. Do not do this to me. No! Yes! 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 Oh my gosh! This is such a good run! Oh my gosh! Oh! Yes! Oh! I didn't think this was possible a year ago. Oh! I'm actually shaking. This is 7 minutes and 25 seconds ahead of the run I did earlier. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, I'm really happy about this. Let's talk about tier list placement, because this is... Yeah, this is a really good run. There's some small things, like, for example, some like wall bumps and stuff like that, which there always will be, but the Giovanni reset is annoying, but totally luck-based. The other one was Surge, and it always sucks to have a Surge reset in a final playthrough time. But, you know, like, Surge is a fast reset. Giovanni was a little bit longer, but also fairly fast. Not ridiculous. So yeah, 41, 49 for Lapras. Wow. Okay, let's go to the tier list. Okay. So, as things stand right now, Lapras, 53 minutes, 39 seconds. We have shaved off more than 10 minutes of time from its run, which is wild, because I didn't even play it that long ago. It's like maybe the run is like a year old now. So it's not that old. But 53 minutes and 39 seconds down to 41 minutes and 49 seconds. This is getting close to Starmie's 40-49. It's actually literally a minute apart from Starmie's result. 41-19, so not faster than Nidoking, not faster than Vileplume, but it is faster than Vaporeon. That said, when I did the Vaporeon stream earlier this year, check it out, it's like a couple months old now, maybe 4 months old, 5 months old. The Vaporeon stream, the run didn't feel like it was cooperating with me, and maybe there's space to port some of the logic from Lapras into Vaporeon. I wonder if Vaporeon might actually benefit from not running Surf and instead running Hydro Pump. Do we have to do a Surfless Vaporeon run tomorrow or something like that? Like, I think we might. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm just going to add these results to the tier list so that we can get it updated and it looks all fancy for us. Do have to do that in a separate... It doesn't work right now within OBS for some reason. I'm not sure why. So insert metrics. We're going to insert metrics for Lapras. Game time. What's the game time? Go back to it. Here's the metrics. 2:43 game time. Was that faster than the last time? I think it was. And then real time is 41. I almost put 49. No, 41:49 in 3 centiseconds. Level was 58. Resets 2. Blackouts 0. Insert. Yep. Well done. Well done, Lapras. Just gonna edit the view here to change some stuff up slightly. Styling. Okay, styling complete. 1 second. I'm being really careful with the tier list stuff now on stream, just so everyone's aware, because I want to make sure that I'm not accidentally spoiling results for people. I have spoiled stuff before on stream and in videos, and I'm trying to keep, because we have a bunch of other Pokemon added to the tier list currently, but they haven't been released as videos yet, so I don't want those results to sneak out and have it spoil things for all of you. So I'm just trying to be as careful as possible. And here we go. That is the updated tier list. Lapras just behind Vileplume in the A tier. It's kind of middle of the A tier, and that does seem like a good placement for it. I think that Starmie. I think the water psychic typing is better. Okay, Slowbro has Amnesia. Starmie has Harden. So it's clear that Slowbro is better than Starmie because the badge boosting move, the setup move, is just so much better. Amnesia is obviously great. Lapras, the water ice typing, is good. It's really good because both water and ice types are great offensively in Generation 1, although the water type, I think I've been proving this week that Surf is not quite as good as you might think it is. I suspect that when we get to Cloyster and Dugong, they are both going to do quite well. I don't think Cloyster is going to be as good as Dugong. I have heard rumors that Dugong is outrageously good. But we're going to have to see what happens. Ice type is... I think Ice type is going to be... You know, the worst Ice type in the game might end up being Jinx. It's not that bad. Like, it did pretty well. But I think the worst Ice type in the game might be Jinx. Just because all the other Ice types are going to be really good. Vaporeon definitely needs a little bit of a lower time at some point, but water is looking on point, I think, to be the third. For me, it feels like the third best typing. It's like you're going to have something that's probably Psychic type, which is going to be the best. I think we're going to see that, like, I don't know, the second best typing is going to be Sleep moves, and then the third best typing will be Water. How about a Seal Redemption arc? Yeah, Dugong is going to be the Seal Redemption arc. Yeah. Yeah, Ice is like an A type. Yeah, A tier type in yellow. I agree with that. Jinx does get messed up. If it had Ice Punch to start, it would be so much better throughout the game. But it starts with like Pound, I think. Then you have to level up for a Lick. Or use Lovely Kiss with the Bide interaction. It's never fun. Okay. Worst ice type is the pre-evolution of Dugong. Funny thing about that, Seal is a mono water type. There are no first stage Pokemon in Generation 1 that are ice types. The only one is like mono stage, like single stage Pokemon like Articuno and Jinx. Because both Shelder and Seal get their ice typing when they evolve. Okay. This was a lot of fun. I hope everyone else had fun. It's shorter than I thought. I budgeted like 2 more hours for this stream. And I'm done now. Should we play something else in yellow version? I think we should play something else in yellow version. Need to backport Swinub. Oh, what is Kanga's time? Yeah, you're right. I did not show you that yet. Kanga's current time is 47 minutes and 35 seconds. I think it'll get faster than that. I think if I redo Kangaskhan, it'll go into the A tier, but I don't think it'll go into the S tier. It'll be like 42, 41 minutes, I think. It'll be really good. It'll be really good, but it won't be A tier, S tier. It's Like, unless the Pokemon is really good, it is fundamentally very challenging to get the times under 30 minutes, is 39, 40 minutes, I mean, into the 30-minute time ranges. Unless the Pokemon is exceptional, like Victory Bell. Like, getting the, like, Zapdos 3722, Articuno 3759, getting them both there was very hard. It's not like I did 2 runs and then they just like went into those tiers. It was challenging to get them there. Hypno was also fairly challenging to get 38 minutes and 57 seconds. I know Austin has got a much better Hypno time by now. But Slowbro, actually, of the S tier, Slowbro and Victory Bell are the 2 that don't feel difficult to get here. They're just like, yeah, they just kind of do it. They're so good. Probably the easiest 2 Pokemon to play if you're just starting out solo running. I would say Starmie is for advanced users. It seems like it's going to be really good as a starting solo run, but it's not. Lapras is better as a starter if you're trying to learn this format. Pokemon like Gengar and Haunter are good if you like gambling with RNG, same with Hypno because it needs Hypnosis. And then these 2 are like a little bit more specialized. There was some like tricky stuff that has to go on for Giovanni to get Zapdos' time low. I forget Articuno, actually. I don't remember a lot about it. Yeah. Are you going to do a backport for Slowking? What would Slowking's moveset be? Let's see. One second. I'm going to bring it up. Chrissy Boy gifted 5 Scott Sauce memberships. Thank you. If you get one of the memberships, go and check out the exclusive content. I'm trying to post more recently. There's some like behind the scenes stuff and analysis videos. So there's one on Starmie actually where I just like info dump for like 40 minutes straight about all my thoughts that I had when I was originally optimizing it. So this week you could potentially watch like 6 hours of Starmie content. That's what I'm here to provide, I guess. Alright. Let's bring up this tier or this graphic. This is, I'm getting advanced with streaming. So advanced. I'm like doing like transform and like centering it to the screen. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. All right, let's transition. Ta-da! Slowking's moveset in Generation 2. So this is usually when I start backports, I start them like this. I try and look at the earliest generation in which the Pokemon joined the series. Look at that moveset and then see how it would get backported. Yes, Zealous Spawn, I do plan on redoing Bellsprout. So right now in the tier list, where are we? Here we are. Right now in the tier list, Bellsprout is getting lower and lower as I rank things more. 55 minutes, 23 seconds. I do plan on redoing it. I did one playthrough to prep it for the stream, and then I didn't want to do more. I was just like, yeah, it's good, but it's like you're relying so much on just some luck when you don't have enough speed. But I will be redoing it in the future, just not as soon as I initially anticipated. Okay, Slowking. Slowking has a kind of unfortunate Gen 2 learn set. Curse Tackle at the beginning, then Growl, Water Gun at 15, which is kind of ugly. Confusion at 20, Disable at 29, Headbutt at 34, Swagger at 43, and Psychic at 48. Then we'll go down. This is its TM and HM learn set. Blizzard and Icy Wind, so we get all the ice moves. We get the water moves too, probably, because it gets Rain Dance. It would get the ground moves. Psychic, Dig. Okay, so like the big thing that's going to set Slowking and Slowbro apart from this tier list, if I move this graphic over just slightly, we can see Slowbro right now. The thing about Slowbro's time is that Slowbro gets this time because it gets Amnesia. Basically for no other reason, but Slowking is not going to get Amnesia. So without Amnesia, Slowking is going to perform much worse. It gets Zap Cannon. Does it get Thunderbolt? Let's see. It does not get Thunderbolt. So it's not going to be similar. Ah, it gets amnesia through Slowpoke in Gen 2. It would get Body Slam. So for TM moves that it can learn, I typically go to the Generation 3 set. In Generation 3, if you go down to the tutors, then you can see, like, it gets the Body Slam tutor in Generation 3 in Fire Red. So then it's like, yeah, that's basically the TM for Body Slam. That's what they're substituting, so I'll give it Body Slam. Like, I give it Body Slam counter or Double Edge. Mega Punch, Mega Kick, Mimic, Seismic Toss, Thunder Wave down here at the bottom. Substitute, of course. Swift, maybe? Slowbro gets Swift in Gen 1, so I'd probably give it Swift. Trash learns that kills Slowking. Yeah, truly. Where amnesia? I know, right? Like, you just like want amnesia on this thing. If this thing has amnesia, it's so good. I think it'd be so good if it had amnesia. Okay. I'm just gonna look at something else. One second. I wanna see what's coming up and if I need to film anything. If I need to film something, maybe we'll do the first run on stream right after this. Oh, there's some stuff that we could film, yeah. Okay. Alright, so here's how it's going to work. I'm going to start the stream again. So I'm going to close this stream and start a completely different stream. And then we are going to do another run. But it's going to, yeah, I'll take like 5 minutes. Then I'll be back on and you'll see which run I'm going to do. So we will continue in the other stream. If you made it this far, you're incredible. I will see you on the other stream.